Sup YouTube, this is Slide8Fry here, and yeah, this time I decided to be sitting on the couch to record this. I'm more comfortable here, plus I actually was sitting here when I had a Zoom call job interview about an hour ago. Anyways, I know the lighting isn't as great as having to sit over on the counter and having that big light in my face, but hey, we got the lamp right here, maybe this will do for now, and I just don't feel like dealing with moving the laptop right now anyway. Yeah, I know. Anyway, once again, my new reaction video is to Karl Jobst talking about the Billy Mitchell case. I did see that Scott DeWaz uploaded something yesterday, but it's over 2 hours long. I'm not going to react to that. All right, here we go. Yeah, there it is right there. Nope, not that. Yeah, see? Nope, not going to do that. That's too long. All right. Let's check it out. Let's see how terrifying Billy Mitchell's expert witness is.
Legends. As we all know, earlier this month, video game cheater of the century Billy Mitchell settled his defamation lawsuit with the record-keeping organization Twin Galaxies. The settlement was honestly a bit weird. Billy kind of got his scores put back up to the Twin Galaxies website, but it was just a historical archive and wasn't actually the official leaderboards.
Exactly.
Billy then used this to spread misinformation, claiming that his scores had been reinstated when they had not been. Billy's tactic of claiming victory seemed to work within the mainstream media, with many articles proclaiming that his scores had been put back up to the ranks. Some even straight up said that Twin Galaxies now thought his scores were legitimate, even though the complete opposite is true. And at the center of this misinformation campaign was a university professor named Dr. Michael Zeider. In their statement, Twin Galaxies pointed directly to Zeider's expert opinion. According to Zeider, you can't prove Billy cheated because maybe Billy didn't clean his VCR before making copies of his world records.
Stupid.
This isn't a joke, by the way. He actually said this. Zeider's two-page expert testimony is as short as it is stupid. Zeider's statement is so dumb that it's very obvious he is just making things up in order to get a paycheck. I hear that expert witnesses get paid very well. I was planning on doing a video debunking all of his bogus claims, and we will definitely have a quick look at them to find out why they are so terrible. But when researching who Dr. Michael Zeider was, something very unexpected happened. I've encountered some weird rabbit holes before, but nothing prepared me for this. There is a good reason Dr. Zeider is so willing to lie for some quick cash. It seems like he might desperately need the money, and you won't believe why. I really hope you enjoy. Now, legends, it's a new year, which means it's time for a new you. I think 2024 is the year you finally start taking good care of yourself, and there is no better way than with Geology. Geology is the bee's knees when it comes to skin, hair, and body care. All of their products are super high quality, and trust me, people will notice a difference. Personally, my skin is super oily, so I need to use Geology's everyday face wash or my face looks and feels gross. Whenever I stop washing, my wife can immediately tell. Plus, I use their nourishing eye cream because I have massive black eyes from not getting enough sleep. But if you have problems with acne or dry skin, Geology is perfect for that too. Plus, they have a whole range of products including body washes, deodorants, and hair shampoos and conditioners, and they all smell incredible. Geology makes things easy and is proven effective with over 7,000 5-star reviews. The process is super simple. Just take the 30-second quiz and Geology will send a personalized routine right to your door. And if you use my link in the description or scan the QR code and use code KarlJobst70, Geology will give you 70% off their award-winning trial set, plus up to 30% off an extra product of your choice. This is a really good deal, and I know your partner will thank you, so don't miss out. Now, before we talk about Zeider, I just want to quickly talk about my previous video, which was a response to a video released by Moon Channel. The owner of that channel...
Yeah, I have watched that, not the Moon Channel version, but Karl Jobst responding to that awful Moon Channel video. Really good video, just really long.
Mooney watched my video and actually ended up agreeing with a lot of the things I said. He reached out to me privately to apologize, which was a response to a video released by Moon Channel. Now, before we talk about Zyda, I just want to quickly talk about my previous video, which was a
That video I
response to a
watched.
video released by Moon Channel. The owner of that channel, Mooney, watched my video and actually ended up agreeing with a lot of the things I said. He reached out to me privately to apologize, and he also made a public apology. He also ended up
Oh,
removing his video entirely, which I understand, but was not something I wanted or expected. All I wanted to do was express myself, which I did. In response to my video, a lot of people took things too far, sending unwarranted harassment and getting way too personal. I don't want to tell people what to do, but I wish I could just have a public disagreement with someone without an angry mob forming. Mooney had a bad take, realized he was wrong, apologized, and removed his video. This really isn't a big deal in the grand scheme of things. In my opinion, he acted very respectfully in the face of such a damning response video.
he did,
I
yes.
appreciate his actions, and yet many people were still not happy. Please.
I have a lot more respect for Mooney now. I did not respect him when he made that video and didn't do any research. But you know, when I saw Karl Jobst's video responding to it, I didn't watch the original Mooney video, and I was never going to anyways. What I heard from Karl Jobst was enough. He explained it perfectly. But the fact that Mooney would go out of his way to apologize to Karl Jobst directly and also delete the video, he probably handled it the best possible way. So, you know what? Good on you, Mooney. That's very good that you did that. That you understood your mistake and apologized and made up for it. Um, it isn't nice for people to still go after him. There's nothing to go after him for anymore. He handled this. He realized what he did wrong and apologized and got rid of the video. Unfortunately, it's just human nature, though. People just can't seem to let go sometimes, and it's frustrating. Some people just need to grow up, and they just refuse to. A particular coworker of mine at a job that I work at that I hate. Yeah, all it took was saying a very light-hearted, sarcastic joke, and he held a grudge against me. Anyways, what was I going to say? Um, More examples of how people can't let go. There are still people who support Amber Turd, even though it's already been proven she abused Johnny Depp, not the other way around. They're still supporting her. They're still hating on Johnny Depp. It's like, dude, you can't accept that you were wrong about who abused who. Like, come on. Of course, I think a lot of them are probably really sexist because they just assume that a woman can't be an abuser, which that's just incorrect. There's plenty of women out there who have abused men, and we just most of them we don't know about because of how stupid people are about it.
Do me a favor, go subscribe to his channel. His actions, and yet many people were still not happy. Please do me a favor, go subscribe to his channel, check out some of his other videos, and this way we can all move forward in a positive way.
I mean, I was never going to subscribe to him, but although some of those videos, those thumbnails look kind of interesting. I mean, that Mario one and some kind of gender war thing on the left. Maybe, I don't know. The other thing I think is really dumb about when people, start hazing somebody, start hating on somebody, is that like all it does, it actually increases engagement on their channel. I mean, technically, he could have just kept the video there and then continue to get all the hate comments, and it would actually make his channel bigger. Because he'd just be getting more views and more engagement. Like, come on. But no, I mean, he made sure to rectify the situation, apologize to Carl, and delete the video. That was a very grown-up thing to do. Glad he did it.
Dr. Michael Zeider has been around for a long time. He has quite the storied history. It's obvious he has a very good amount of knowledge in his field, and he seems to be a very smart man, which makes his appointment as an expert for Billy Mitchell very strange. From Zeider's personal website, it seems like he is essentially a professional expert witness, someone who gets paid to be an expert in as many lawsuits as he can. In the case of Billy Mitchell, Zeider was hired by Billy's law firm Manning & Cass, and Zeider proudly displays this on his website. It's clear that Zeider wants and craves attention. He links to as many news articles as he can on his website, which now shows a bunch of articles about Billy's settlement. Zeider thinks very highly of himself and his opinion. On his Facebook page, on the day of the Twin Galaxies settlement, Zeider proudly proclaimed, "I just got a call from an attorney I am working for, and she said that my last document has convinced the other side to settle. This case has been running since 2007, and there have been a large number of previous expert witnesses. My declaration is 1 page long." Nothing in this post is true. His statement didn't convince Twin Galaxies to settle, the case wasn't running since 2007, there weren't 20 expert witnesses, and his declaration isn't 1 page long. It's already obvious that Zeider shares at least one trait with Billy, a penchant for dishonesty. But if his statements were true, surely his declaration must be good, right? Well, let's take a look. Zeider's statement attempts to argue that Billy's tapes look like emulation because of some malfunction or other issue. I cannot stress enough that this statement has zero backing or evidence to support it.
Yes.
There is nothing of substance here. Zeider did no tests, no experiments, nothing. He's just making shit up and asserting it as fact. The entire thing has already been debunked extensively by Tanner Fokens, an electrical engineer and an expert in Donkey Kong. I will link his report in the description. But really, for most of this stuff, we don't need to be an engineer to know how ridiculous it is. Zeider makes this claim the converter Billy used changes the signal from 60 FPS to 30 FPS. However, the converter doesn't affect the frame rate whatsoever. Zeider doesn't even know what the converter does, and his entire point is flat out wrong because of this. For point B, he claims a component aging can cause issues, and maybe Billy's board was so old that it acted weird. Aside from the fact that this has never been demonstrated, and again is just being pulled from Zeider's ass, we still have the exact same board Billy used. Yes, literally the very same board Billy used to achieve his records years ago still exists and has been tested many times in the past several years. It's working perfectly fine. So this entire point is utterly insane, knowing that it can and has already been tested. For point C, Zeider claims that maybe when you copy a VHS tape, it can go from looking like this to looking like this, but only on that exact frame, at that specific time, many times over the course of several hours.
Come on, we all know what happens when you use a VHS. It's those black and white dotted lines that go up and down. It's not going to change the actual footage. Like, it's just ridiculous.
This is akin to saying that it's possible to walk through a wall if your atoms line up just in the right way. He claims that not cleaning your VCR or even recording on long play will lower the quality, and thus all of the transition screens will now mimic MAME. Zeider is a very smart man. If even we, the mere uneducated public, can look at this expert opinion and instantly realize that it's complete nonsense, obviously Zeider realizes this too. And yet, he doesn't care. In fact, he is proud of his statement. He celebrates all of the publicity he is getting from it. Now, just from the simple fact he is so obviously willing to lie for money, I already believed Zeider to be a morally bankrupt man. But you have no idea how bad he really is. I wanted to know who Zeider was, so I went digging. Let's go all the way down the rabbit hole. Dr. Zeider is addicted to social media. On his Instagram account, he has almost 20,000 posts. His first post is July of 2016, so that works out to an average of 7 posts per day every single day for the past 8 years. He has many Facebook accounts, but on his main one and his personal one, they are both the same, with many posts every single day and thousands upon thousands upon thousands of photos. Most of the photos are of nothing in particular, but many of them are strange and creepy. Zeider will stand on the street at night and record people exercising through windows. He has uploaded many photos of him looking straight into the windows of his neighbors, and he will record and upload videos of desperate homeless people. It's really invasive and gross. But Twitter is where things got really weird. I first found this small account that appears to be Zeider trying to solicit sugar babies, offering to pay them $5,000 per week. However, this account only had a few followers, so I figured that maybe it was just someone else using his photos. I honestly didn't think anything of it. Then I found an account that was actually him. This is definitely Zyda. He states that he's a professor at USC, it links to his Instagram, which is linked from his website, and it's been around since 2009. It's legit. When you look at his likes, you'll see that Dr. Zyda is a thirsty boy. Pics for everyone who interacts. Titty pics to everyone who likes. He likes a bunch of weird diaper fetish posts, and then we get into straight up hardcore BDSM and hardcore porn. This is the kind of stuff that makes even me blush. Now, don't get me wrong, there is absolutely nothing wrong with having a kink, but remember, This is Zyda on his work Twitter, as a USC professor, liking tweets of guys getting pegged. It's extremely unprofessional. Then we get into the accounts he follows. Some of them are what you would expect, other professors at USC or those in the same industry, but most of them are adult content creators or escorts. You'll see a lot of FMTY, which means fly me to you. It's women who allow men to fly them into a city and pay money to spend time with them. Then I realized, if he is following all of these escort accounts on his main Twitter profile, then the other account where he was trying to solicit that exact same service is probably actually him. He just didn't want to do it on his main account. Now sure, Zyda is obsessed with social media, he's definitely creepy, he's extremely unprofessional and desperate, but is that really a problem? Personally, if I was a university, I wouldn't want my professors doing this kind of thing on their official Twitter account. Teachers and politicians have been lambasted for liking just a single raunchy post. Naturally, they claimed it was hackers, but Zyda can't really use that defense because he's been doing it for years. Also, personally, if I did have a daughter, I wouldn't want this guy anywhere near her in a position of power. I mean, if he is so desperate to do this on his work Twitter, then imagine what he is thinking around all of those young women at a university. I guess the real question is he just a perv online, or does he actually pose a danger to students? Well, in March of 2023, Dr. Zyda was sued for sexual harassment by former USC student Lu Ning. This lawsuit is currently ongoing and the details aren't looking good at all. Ning claims that Zyda agreed to pay her $5,000 per week. That figure sounds familiar. Oh yes, it's the exact same amount Zyda's second Twitter account was offering to pay for sugar babies. Surely that's just a coincidence. Ning claims that she worked for and even lived with Zyda in his apartment. It states that during her employment, Michael Zyda deceived, abused, coerced, threatened, exploited, sexually harassed, and manipulated Ning, taking advantage of her immigration status and discriminating against her on the basis of her sex and mental disabilities. Throughout plaintiff's employment, she was subjected to inappropriate sexual advances and comments of a sexual nature. Defendant Michael Zyda would often comment on plaintiff's physical appearance, tell her that he loved her, asked her to move in with him, and insinuated that he wanted to have sex and children with her, among other advances and comments. Michael Zyda would make comments about plaintiff's weight, asking if plaintiff gained weight and how she expected to get a man if she gained weight. Michael Zyda would post photos and videos about the plaintiff without plaintiff's consent. Now this one I immediately believe. During the time period of February 2020 to April 2020, plaintiff refused to massage defendant Michael Zyda. In response, he threatened to return her to China, evict her onto the street where she would be homeless, would play violent videos, inflict anxiety and panic attacks, causing attempted suicide and causing plaintiff to call 911. In July 2021, a lump was detected in the plaintiff's breast, and the plaintiff informed defendants to receive reimbursement for medical expenses and preparation for surgery. Defendant Michael Zyda texted, in an act of sexual harassment, "We will have to start calling you Lumpy." And it goes on and on. What's even more sickening about this whole thing is that when USC found out about this, which they did last year, they immediately swept this under the rug and let Zyda quietly retire. I could find no acknowledgement of this from USC whatsoever, and Zyda is still listed as part of their faculty. I would love to know if they even bothered to ask Zyda's former students if they also encountered any similar behavior. Zyda seems like an all-round scumbag. He lies for money as an expert witness, he creeps on people and posts it to his social media, he uses his USC professor Twitter account to solicit nude pictures and follow escorts, and he's getting sued for sexual harassment by a former USC student. Ladies and gentlemen, I introduce you to Billy Mitchell's expert witness. Of course this is Billy's expert. Who else in their right mind would actually defend him? Of course, this is the expert that Billy's law firm Manning & Cass chose to work with. It all makes perfect sense. Dr. Zyder is a complete joke, and now I'm really curious what kind of opinion he has put forth in his other cases. If his statements regarding Billy's world records are anything to go by, they must be terrible. Zyder might be desperate for money, whether it's to pay his legal defense or to pay some young girl to spend time with him. In any case, I hope his career as an expert witness comes to an abrupt end because he is clearly making a mockery of the entire thing. Thank you so much for
Is
watching, you legends. I hope you're having a fantastic day, and I will see you in the next video.
wow, what a despicable human being. And god damn it, you stupid webcam. I'm sorry about my webcam malfunctioning. I do need to replace it. It's garbage. It does this all the time, and I'm really tired of it. Anyways, wow. What a disgusting human being Michael Zaida is. Oh my gosh. He is a fucking total creep. And and the way he was trying to take advantage of her was so fucked up. It's disgusting. What a terrible human being. Wow. I'd argue he's probably worse than Billy Mitchell. I mean, Billy Mitchell is just trying his best to lie about, all the cheating high scores and all this shit. And yes, Billy Mitchell is awful for trying to sue people into the ground who prove evidence of his cheating. But Michael Zaida is literally sexually harassing students at USC and taking advantage of his position as a professor there. That's disgusting. Oh my god. Wow. You know, back in 2022, um, my wife and I took the 7.5 hour trip to Los Angeles twice. Um, both times was to take her to a K-pop concert there. Late 2022, it was Camp LA, which had a bunch of K-pop groups at Rose Bowl Stadium, UCLA. Um, I was still working for DoorDash at the time, and I did some work down in the Los Angeles area, and I ended up actually on USC, and fascinating place actually. Like it was almost like an entire village in this one square. I actually was picking up DoorDash deliveries from restaurants that were actually on USC and delivering them outside of campus. I even delivered to some kind of dormitory at one point, um, or something. Anyways, now I'm starting to wonder, did any of those students that I saw at USC, were any of them victims of Zaida, and I just didn't know about it? God damn, Michael Zaida is a disgusting human being. Anyways, this was dark and horrible, but sometimes the truth is a lot worse than what can be made up. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully, the next time I do a reaction video will be something a lot more pleasant. It will be to something a lot more pleasant than this. Maybe a new AVGN will come out soon, or not. Usually, it's like in March or something, but we'll see. Anyways, thank you so much.